Filipina P is probably going to watch this. Do you anything more to say to her?
I do have a script that I want to put you in. It's about someone who does interviews.
Welcome back, and I am Danny, and I'm here with my new friend Steve. And today we're in the Philippines. We're in, what is it?
This is Mandaue City and Banilad, what do you call it? Barangay. Banilad Barangay. Cebu is, right, Visayas Island.
Yeah. So we're here, and we're just chilling out, and you told me you had an interesting story.
Oh, I've had a pretty interesting life. I was a kid, grew up in Phoenix, went into the military 6 days after I graduated from high school, in 1990 when some things were happening. Went in for 5 years. Started in the infantry, came out as a mortuary affairs specialist. I reclassed at my first reenlistment. Spent time in Korea. When I was in Korea, I came over to the Philippines for my first trip in 1993. I was at Camp Hovey up in around the little town they called it Tokari. It was actually called Guangam-dong, and it's right outside of a bigger town called Dongdaecheon. While I was there, I speak, read, and write Korean. It was my fourth language. Yeah, it's, like I say, it's north, Gyeongbu is right in between it and Seoul.
Right.
So,
That's where Mash was.
yeah. Yeah, it's actually, I'm right in the area I believe that MASH was supposed to have been.
Yeah, right. Mash was in California.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like Korea. So, got out of the military, spent time working for Joe Arpaio in Phoenix for the sheriff's office. Went on with my life. I was married to a Korean coming out of Korea. Split up with her, met an Eskimo, and married an Eskimo, moved to Alaska. Spent 18 years in Alaska. While I was in Alaska, I worked in law enforcement. I worked for the state. Left that, I went to work for one of the oil companies. I was what was called a bear guard. My entire reason for existence was to prevent pipeline workers from being eaten by polar bears. So went around, the coldest I think I saw was around 60 below zero. I spent a lot of time out hiking the snow with surveyors.
Did you ever get to wrestle a polar bear?
No. Nope. I only believe I maybe saw one once, and I'm not even sure I saw it. But you see tracks all the time, even around the buildings that you lived in. You would go outside, they had cages for smoking areas. You couldn't leave, you weren't allowed to walk from building to building without taking a van because the threat of polar bears and the cold. And but you could step outside, like outside the smoking areas, and see a polar bear track that was like that big.
Wow.
So I did that for a while, and then I ended up being the project manager for the biggest audio-video company in Alaska. All through that time, and actually started when I was still working for the state, I started producing films, and you can link my IMDb page if you want. But I ended up with 2 theatrical releases. I've got films on Amazon and on I believe it's Tubi right now. I honestly don't keep track. I haven't even seen the finished product in some of my films. Then I moved out. I had enough of the world. I moved out to the woods in Alaska and lived about 20 miles from the nearest human.
So, what brought you to the Philippines?
I got a little disillusioned with life in America. It wasn't the country that I joined the military for, and so I started doing my research. I actually had a cousin So when I went home and when I left Alaska, I moved to northern Arizona, and I had a cousin that was married to a Filipino, and he was telling me, you know, you could live pretty good in the Philippines. So in the meantime, I was starting a transportation company. I owned a transportation company back in the States. And he said, yeah, on the money you make there, you'll be extremely comfortable. So I started looking at some of the dating sites. I started watching a lot of the blogs, and started talking to some girls, and got more of a feeling for what to expect here. I'll give credit to my two favorite vloggers, the Filipina P and Philly in the Philippines. This year, like she's huge. She was a huge influence on me, and so was Philly. And with her, it's funny because I sent her a message one time, and because I have a script, I would love to put her in a film.
She'll probably be watching this and you want to say hello.
Hi. I do have a script that I want to put you in. It's about someone who does interviews. She gave so much useful information. Anyway, so started talking to a girl against her advice. Met her, and I'm quite happy. Now, actually, right across the street here. But life has been good here. I'm very happy with it. I've seen a lot of stuff. I go. I'm trying to get into scuba diving. It gives me a lot of time to pursue my hobbies. Now, what I have found is I cannot find any good Mexican food here. So that's been I think my biggest shock is just the things that I can't get here. But I love the place. The people are wonderful. Starting to pick the language up now. It'll be my fifth language that I speak well. So languages come easily to me.
What kind of features do you see? What are you going to do?
Right now, I'm looking at opening up a call center, and I've been shopping for some land on the beach. You know, I hear all the horror stories. You know, you can't own land here. You can't. There are ways around things. I've done my research. I'm a planner. I do a lot of research before I do anything. And so right now I'm looking at somewhere not too terribly far from here. I've looked at a lot of land in Moabwal and Oslo. I've looked at Bahal too, Behold. And I'm planning a trip here soon to Bantayan Island. I would love to go to Baguio. So I don't know if you've heard of Baguio.
Yes.
I would be very happy back up in the pines with nice cool temperatures. But on the whole, it's been a long, strange ride. My whole life has been a long, strange ride. But it's definitely been an eye-opening experience being here. I think the scariest thing I do is walking across that street every morning. Well, like I say, that's probably the most dangerous thing I feel like I do in my life, and I was in law enforcement for a long time. My mom actually just left a week ago today. She came and visited for a month. She loves it. She's part of the reason I'm staying because she wants to buy a beach house here. But it's, I don't know, the people are great. I have nothing bad to say about the Philippines at large. The people are great. They're probably the happiest, most friendly people I've ever met in my life.
You're going to stay here for a long time.
Oh, I have no intentions of leaving now. The Philippines is probably the most accommodating country to foreigners that I've seen. They're just very welcoming. But it's, I'm very happy here. There are things that irritate me here, but there were things that irritated me in America.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any ideal, perfect place in the world.
Right.
I just don't. it's a matter of picking the least of multiple evils. And, like I said, my mom came here for a month and fell in love with the place. I'm very happy. The people have been good to me. I just, other than the systemic problems that are inherent in any country, but yeah, I just want to build a nice little happy life here and live out my next 35 years in relative peace and quiet. I'd love to make another movie here. I would love to, expand and do some things to I had someone ask me, why do you want to build a call center here? You've got a business in America. I said, well, it's my giving back, providing some jobs for people. And that's my thing is, I could hand out money, I could do charity, and I think I do far more good providing jobs. Maybe I'm still shiny and not jaded yet, but I would rather stay that way. Because I said something to it. There's a lot of negative expats here. There's a lot of people that have just become old and grumpy here. And I'm not going to let that happen.
Well, I think I pretty much does think you look like you're pretty content here.
I am very content here.
Okay, well, I think that about does it for the interview.
Okay.
All right, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
No problem. All right, have a nice day.
All right, thanks.
So there you have it. That was Steve. He seems to be having a very good life here in the Philippines. He's an accomplished movie maker, and he does a lot to help out the community. So what do you think of Steve? Is he a great guy? I think so. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that little bell icon so you can get updated to my adventures here in the Philippines. Until next time, this is Danny from T&D Production.